I'm Miyah and I would like to welcome you to the latest episode of my blog series. So far, I have been able to share my own experiences of what it's like for me to live with Asperger syndrome. A second thing that I will do is give my 2 cents on what's going on with autism in the media. A third area entails providing tips and advice for those of you that have Asperger syndrome, as well as those of you who are family members like parents, friends, family members, peers, mentors, educators, professionals, employers, and anybody in the community. And finally, I will cover topics on things that I'm passionate about that are not autism related. Now, before I dive into tonight's topic, I have a few things to mention. Number one, if you check up here in the right-hand corner, this is a TED Talk by Dr. Temple Grandin. And what she talks about are different kinds of minds and how the world needs them. And I would also recommend that you guys check out my written blogs on Wordpress.com. And you can find those under Hello World 240 at Wordpress.com. That's Hello World 240 at Wordpress.com. And what I would like to do now is talk about autism and bullying. And yes, I've brought it up many times before. And I wanted to go into depth and talk about a few examples that I've faced as an individual with autism or Asperger's. And the first thing that I would like to say is that 9 times out of 10, if you have Asperger's syndrome, you're going to get bullied. That's just the way it is. And a lot of the reasons that someone like myself has been bullied is because we have trouble reading facial expressions. We have trouble reading social cues. We have trouble understanding sarcasm. We have trouble with growing and maturing when everybody else around us seems to be moving a lot faster and making clicks. And that sometimes is something that other people don't understand. Other reasons why we can get bullied is because there are other people with autism or Asperger's that feel insecure about themselves while we're moving forward, or there are people who are parents of children with severe autism or have other types of disabilities. They bully us because they're jealous, or they bully us because they don't understand that Asperger's syndrome is part of this great big autism spectrum, and you go from very mild to moderate to extremely severe. And they think that we're normal and that we're using it as an excuse, so they don't know what to deal with it. So those are some of the reasons why someone on the spectrum is going to face bullying. In my case, I was picked on because of my limited interests. I was also picked on because I would get upset very easily. Like when I was in 2nd grade and 3rd grade, I was a huge fan of The Little Mermaid. And the other kids in the daycare center where I went knew that I was afraid of Ursula the Sea Witch and knew that I didn't like being compared to her. And they knew that I wanted to be Ariel, not Ursula. And I wanted to be pretty. I wanted to sing. I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be rebellious. And they would taunt me with things like, "Are you a sea witch?" And that would get me upset. Or other times they would taunt me with, "Miyah's a sea witch, Miyah's a sea witch." Just constantly, and it got to the point where I would get mad and hit them, and they would do it even more. Other times were over the fact that I wasn't growing like everybody else was when I went off to junior high. I was not interested in football, or I was not interested in watching big girl movies like Edward Scissorhands. I wanted to sit around and talk about and watch The Lion King over and over and over again because I liked the animation. I liked every little detail about The Lion King. I liked The Lion King because I'm a cat person, and I liked the animation of the Serengeti. And people often taunted me for that by saying Simba's dead. Other people called me up on the phone and said they wanted to talk to me about a brand new Lion King book. So those are some reasons. And then another really big one that a lot of people with autism face is they have people who claim that they have a crush on us and they want to take us on a date. And what they do is they call us up on the phone or they approach us in school and they tell us, "We would like to go out with you. Can you go out with me? Are you available?" And what they do is They get you to say yes because they think that we're gullible. So that's another reason why I got picked on. And unfortunately, I foiled somebody's plan when I was 17 when a guy wanted to call me up on the phone and ask me out on a date. And first of all, I didn't know him from Adam, and I'd never met him. And in addition, the sound of his voice gave me the heebie-jeebies. So when he asked me out on a date, I said, let me think about it and call you back. Do you have a number I could reach you at? And he told me that he didn't have a phone. And I said, well, where are you calling me from? And he said, the gas station. He goes, I don't know the gas station number. And after that, he left me alone. So that's what they think. They think that people with autism are weak and stupid. They think that we're gullible people and that we're yes people. And unfortunately, they've learned that we're not. Now, again, I've dealt with some parents of children with severe autism who turned out to be bullies to me. And it wasn't just the parents. It was their other relatives, like their siblings. Like when I went off to work at a warehouse, I had one of my coworkers who was the uncle of a severely autistic individual of someone who ran the company. And they thought it was funny to put a kick me sign on my back. And I went and I told the job coach about it. And the job coach just blew it off and they said, oh, they didn't do that to you every day. They were just kidding. And then they went off and compared it to another situation of somebody who pulled the joke on them on April Fool's Day, and they told everyone at the sheltered workshop that it was their birthday. And I thought that's no comparison at all. I mean, putting a kick me sign on somebody's back is not a joke. That's that's bullying. So other things that I faced when I worked at that warehouse, I was gossiped about, and I had other people spread ugly rumors about me, and they also put me down, you know, and then when I would try to confront them, they would get mad and tell me that they were just kidding. So those are some examples. And then when I tried to invite them back to a housewarming party, I got shunned. Nobody from work wanted to come to my housewarming party because people had been spreading ugly rumors about me, that I was weird and that I was crazy. And see, the two reasons why I got bullied when I worked there was because I have quirks. And they didn't understand those quirks, and they didn't want to understand those quirks. And the other reason why was because they were very insecure, and it was because they had a child or a nephew or a grandchild, in that case, that was an adult with severe autism, and they'd been taught not to believe in them. And they saw me, I was determined, I didn't want to work in that warehouse the rest of my life. I was studying and trying to transfer from a 2-year school to a 4-year school, and really trying to look into my life and figure out how to move on beyond my autism and my Asperger's, and that bothered them. So those are some of the reasons why people with autism and Asperger's get bullying. But I'm out of time now. If you have any questions or comments, do not forget to state below. Also, please be sure to look me up on Twitter under @SummerGirl43 and follow me. You can also follow me and like my page on Facebook.com. That's Hello World with Miyah Sundermeyer. Until next time, I'm Miyah Sundermeyer, and I'm signing off now. Bye.